What it what it do? What it do? I'm doing a quick test. Make sure you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? A little bit of light here. Don't worry about it. It's daytime in sunny Sosua. Just someone drop me a quick one if you can hear me. I know we got my guest in the chat right now. Give me one second. Let me get him up here. Oh, can you hear me? Okay, thank you. I just watched your comment. Give me a second. Let me add you to the chat. So my bro's in the building. Army guy travels. What up with you, baby?
What's up, dude?
Hey, I see you got the paradise life. So you see me? I got the gold
Of
for the
course.
green for the money, gold for the honey. So I had to get now. If any other world travelers are up here on the chat, feel free to jump in. I'll put the link in a second. Me and Justin are gonna start this live going. And anybody wants to jump in, throw their 2 cents. You can jump on the live, or you can just comment in the comment section. Give all your information, all the commentary you want in the comment section. But basically, this is a live I've been meaning to do for a while. You know that, Just.
Yeah.
Which country has the most fuckery? Now, I'm going to start this live by telling you right now. We can end the live in 2 minutes. I'm going to tell you I'm going to give you the answer right now. Right now, I'm going to give you the answer. The country with the most fuckery is Puffy's house. Okay, P. Diddy's house. That has the most fuckery. So he wins. Live is over. Cut your computers off. Everybody cut YouTube off right now. P. Diddy's house has the most fuckery in the history of fuckery. All right, so
Not anymore.
It is literally. I've been keeping up with the case. We'll do that on another live. I've been keeping with that case. Jesus Christ. I don't know how he had time to make hit records. But all right. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all hit that like button. Don't forget hit the super chat or the Cash App. So real quick, Army Guy Travels. My man, tell them a little bit about yourself before we get started.
What's up, everyone? This is Army Guy Travels coming at you from Vietnam, from Ho Chi Minh City. Just a world traveler out here having fun like the rest of y'all.
All right, so I needed to do this live with specific people that have been to every country, right? You've been to how many countries you been to so far? What's your number?
I just got back from 109.
Okay, so 109 countries. All right, I myself is like 11 countries, but I'm cool. Most of y'all don't get to 2, so I did 11. But I'm gonna do it in this order, bro. You pick the country. We're gonna go country to country. You pick the country. You pick the order. You start with whatever. You give me a second. You name whatever country first. We go into that country. I start, then you go, and then you name the next country. We'll do it like that to keep it even. And this way, you guys know this is not set up. This is not your key. This is not set up. This is not organized. This is just me and him talking about what we feel. And like I said, you guys can come on and jump in and give your information in the chat. I'll be right there looking at the chat. So you go ahead, Justin. What's your first country?
Are you talking about like the 4, right?
The 4. You were doing the 4 because that they call that the big 3 or the big 4. So
yeah. You know what? I want to do Colombia, but let's get this shit started with DR, baby. Let's do DR first.
DR. So I'm kind of a professional on the DR topic, right? I guess, right? Yes, breaking news. Classicals are still closed. Thank you. Everybody laughing. That was never any question. So, Dominican Republic to me, and this is based on my travels and based on seeing how other people travel. Now, the reason I think Dominican Republic has a high level of fuckery, let's do a level of 1 to 5, in my opinion. All right. I will say DR's a level 3. I was gonna say 4, but I'm gonna tell you why I'm not gonna say 4. I'm not gonna say 4. Maybe DR used to be a level 4. Maybe it used to be a level 4. But because so many people learned how to get into the fuckery in DR, they've taken it leaps and bounds in other countries. That's just my opinion. Now guys are doing everything we were doing in DR, the parties, the villa parties, the condo parties, wilding out. I used to call it topless parties, naked. Like I used to wild out there. They taking it to those other countries, right? So I'm gonna put, for me, I'll put DR at level 3 travel advisory for fuckery. All right. Why do you say that? Why do I say that? Being here so long, everything we've done and appreciated about all these countries, everyone was doing in DR at some point. Now, I'm not going to say first because the OGs was doing it in Brazil. But for the guys that never been to Brazil, everybody was doing it here first. This was the place with just madness at one point, and not even just Sosua. I'm not talking about just Sosua. DR as a whole. I've been in Santiago. I've been in Santo Domingo, wilding out. So like you can have one thing about Dominicans, they love to party. So you can have a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? They love to drink, they love to party. So you can pull an all-nighter and just drinks, pool, fun. All right. You don't know what fun is? F-U-N. All right, whatever. So that's why I say level 3, because a lot of us took what we learned here and spread it. Now I will say the reason I'm basically saying that also is because I would get phone calls from Colombia vets before the Christopher Colombians found it. Colombia vets that would be like, y'all keep that Sosua stuff, Dominican Republic stuff over there. Because people will, people will wild out over here and take it on the road, right? And at the time, it wasn't a thing. People went, we can't do that. But then it picked up. Now you could, the fuckery's everywhere. For me, you know, I'm big with I'm kind of I'd like to call myself an Elon Musk of the fuckery. Like I'm all in at times, and it could get weird. I'm all in. None of that, but I'm all in at times, and it could get weird. And the budget can be the budget can go out the window. The budget can, you know, but either way, we're gonna make some ships go to the space, right? No matter what it is. But I would say I've had the most fun with my fuckery in DR based on how Dominicans party, if that makes sense, right? So that's my version of fuckery in DR. Like there's so many more things to go into, but I think somebody might be watching us and let me see what he's gonna say next. So I'll let just take the floor on DR. You say your level's 4 for fuckery, so get into that.
So actually, I think I am gonna bring it back down to like a 3 or a 3.5 because
that's where I'm at, 3.
And I'll tell you why. At first, I was thinking 4, but the thing about Sosua is it's a good starter point for a brand new traveler. And you can't go to like, dude, it's just like when you and I met at the bar, right? The first time these guys were talking about, oh, I've been to Medi, I've been to Cartagena. I'm going to go to, or no, I haven't been anywhere, but I'm going to go to Cali first. And you were like, no, don't do that. Because like, you're not going to get hurt in Sosua, but you can get hurt in Colombia. So like, I think if you're going to put Sosua at a 4, it's because of the chicas. But if you're really looking at DR as a whole, like where I started really enjoying the Dominican is when I started getting out of Sosua. And I started going to Santiago, Santo Domingo, Cabarete, Bonao, like places like all those other places, Rio San Juan. Then I started to like fall in love with the DR. But if you just stay in Sosua, you're not really in the DR.
And I said it, there's so much more to see. But as you just said, Sosua is a great place to start for the new traveler. In my opinion, like someone asked me the other day, did I get mad that a lot of guys venture to Colombia? I go, no, because they used to be right here in Sosua. You have to grow. You have to explore. Now, some guys never, ever, ever leave Sosua. Never, ever, ever leave DR. That's cool, too. If you in your comfort zone, one of my guys said, I know Dominicans, I know what to expect. This is where I'm at. I respect that. But Sosua is not the end-all, be-all of Dominican Republic.
It's like tiny point.
It's really this big. But by the way, back in the days, Dominicans used to call this a little dirty beach town. Like before anybody really knew Sosua was what it was, if you went across the country, a Dominican would be like, that little dirty beach town? Like that's what they called it forever. So it is what it is. But I say for like you said, the startup traveler, the new traveler, this is a great place to start because it can get you learning how to move. It can get you adjusted to levels of fuckers. There's levels to this shit.
There is.
It can get you learn how to move around. You know, everybody gonna make their mistakes, but like you said, you're not gonna get hurt here.
But it can also give you a false sense of security because we're used to being, most of us in the U.S., where it can either be really safe or really dangerous. And everybody's a gangster when they come down to a foreign country. And then they come to Sosua and they're fine. But then they take that gangster to Colombia and they get hurt.
And then what you said though, you won't get hurt here. So yes, to a point, gives you a false sense of security, but also if you put enough time in and effort in, you can learn, okay, this is what I should do, what I shouldn't do when I leave Sosua. And you know, because things can happen in DR. Trust me, they can. But it's less likely to happen to a tourist here based on the laws here. You know what I'm saying? Like they really
protect tourists here.
And it's
I remember when that robbery happened at that local Western Union, and you were like, nah, man, they're gonna find those people in 2 seconds. There's nowhere for them to go.
Yep.
That really made sense because everybody was tripping. Oh my God, they ripped off the Western Union. No, they didn't rip off the one we go to. They ripped off the local one. And trust me.
And no one knew where it was.
Oh, I knew, but
by the way, you knew. I said Western Union was number one. Number two, not only did they catch every single one of them, they actually accused two of my people that had nothing to do with it as part of it. Like my dudes had to go on, Ginger being one, he had to go online and be like, yo, that's first off, that's an old picture of me. And second, I was at work.
And how fast did they find them, Flip?
Less than 48 hours.
Yep. 48 hours, all of them were caught, and all but one of them were caught in the first 16.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if crime happens here, the crazy part about DR is something I've never seen before. Like, you know, in the neighborhoods, you know who the criminals are. They know who the criminals are here. So unless you're just like a new guy, like there's criminal groups, so they know who everyone is. So it's kind of different here. If you're committing crime, if you're selling drugs, if you're doing robberies, they know who you are. You didn't do nothing yet, but if something happens, they come to you first. So it's kind of different over here. So I get you. You will have a false sense of security, but it is safer here. So
super safe.
For DR, our level of fuckery for me is a 3, and what is yours?
I'll do 3.5.
Okay. So,
but it's DR, mostly the chicas, dude. I never feel unsafe in DR.
No, and that's why I said fuckery meaning everything. All right, so let's define fuckery. Excuse me. For me, it's what can I get into? How crazy can it get? The awesomeness of it. And I would agree with the safety. I think we should add safety to that, in my opinion. But if we add safety, obviously DR goes up. But let's leave safety out of the level for right now. We'll talk about safety. Because if it's safety, DR definitely goes to 4 or 5. But we'll leave safety out of the rating system. But I say a 3 based on everything when it comes to our definition of fuckery. All right, so give us the next country, my brother.
Let's stay in Latin America. Let's go to Colombia, bro.
So, without hurting too many people's feelings, you know, I could talk them. Now, I've only been to Cartagena and Medellin, but I've been deep in Cartagena and Medellin. And when I say deep, look at your girl right now. Deep. Okay, I'm joking. Anyway, I will give Colombia. Now I'm gonna do both because I could kind of combine Cardi and Medellin. It's just there's more Venezuelans than Cartagena. I can give Colombia a solid 4 on the level of fuckery, and I'll tell you why. I'm not into all of it, but as you know, you can come down there and get high as you want, and condoms are not in abundance. I guess they don't sell condoms at the store. I'm sure they do. I've seen them, but they don't care for condoms. I guess when you're on drugs, that condoms are not a necessity. I guess, right? Some people are gonna get mad at me when I say these things, but hey, I really don't care. I'm telling you my version, and I'm sure I can tell you one thing about me. You can get 10 Christopher Colombians right now, and I've done more than them in 2 trips to Colombia than they've done in 20. Okay, so my level of knowledge in Colombia is high above most people. I've actually had Colombia vets be like, everything you said. Now I'm not talking about you. You're not a Christopher Colombian.
Yeah,
you lived in Colombia. You're different.
Yeah.
I've had vets who've been going to Colombia for 20 years. They'll probably hit me after this live and say everything I've said about Colombia has been 100% on point when it comes to the drug use, when it comes to all that. So, but the level of fuckery is up there. You can have a great time. I said I can't say Colombians learned it from Dominicans, but I think a lot of the people that came to DR and got those parties and all that stuff, took it to Colombia because I remember a lot of people hitting me, yo, tell them keep that behavior over there. Now everybody does it, meaning getting multiple girls together, throwing a party, throwing some pussy out the window, whatever you want to do, and everybody dancing, having fun. One thing about Colombians, they don't party. Why are you wiping your nose, brother? They don't party. I mean, they party, but DR to me is a party country, right? But Colombians know how to party as well. They just party a little differently, if that makes sense. Anybody who's hung out with in the local spots in Colombia, you'll see they're partying just a little more dancing, a little more, laid back than Dominicans going all crazy. You know what I'm saying? So then, for me, the level of fuckery is 4. And like I said, I'll combine Cartagena and Medellin based on my experiences. Cartagena is more of a tourist city, but it's a lot to do. You know what I'm saying? I have a great time. I kind of stick to Venezuelans more than anybody, my homies. I got tired of Medellin. I told you guys, that, Just. I told you I kind of bored with Medellin.
I'm the same way.
I've done so much in Medellin. I just got bored with it. I will be going back, making an appearance soon. It's just, I took a couple of years off, man. It was just like, there was nothing new for me in Medellin. You know what I'm saying? I did everything people go online and brag about, and I'd be like, I did that 10 times already. It's really nothing. I did a lot in Cartagena, but I still like the beach life when I travel. So for me, the fuckery is definitely there in Colombia. One thing I will knock a lot of you Christopher Colombians on, and a lot of you not gonna like this, and I don't care, as you know. The oh my God, Colombia got the most beautiful woman in the world. That's a farce. To me, Colombia is, for you guys that weren't born in the 70s and 80s, there was a test called Black Doll, White Doll. Okay, and they tested all these kids, these children, and they said, which doll do you like the most? And everybody, even the black kids, chose the white doll. There was only a small percentage that chose the black doll. And they said, why? And they said, because the white doll looked clean. We are predetermined to choose the white skin over anything. And I'm not talking about racial. It's just what we're predetermined to do. So I call Colombia white doll, black doll. So a lot of y'all go, the baddest women in the world. You can't tell me the baddest women in the world when you've only been in your state, you've only been to Vegas, and you've only been to Medellin. I don't believe you. You need more people. Okay, you need to give me a better resume than Idaho, Nebraska. Shout out to Nebraska. I love y'all. Medellin. I need a bigger resume for you to tell me the baddest in the world. Show me where you've been to tell me these are the baddest women in the world. Do I knock them? No. To me, it's more Aztec chicks than anything. But I love Venezuelans. I think the Venezuelans are awesome.
My favorite.
A little Aztec-y as well, but I rock with them. So I'm going to give a solid 4 for fuckery, with the sidebar that extracurricular activities are at an all-time high. An all-time high. Okay? So Just, I'll give you Colombia now because you got way more experience. You live there, and you've been all in the trenches.
All right. So give you guys a little backstory on where I've been in Colombia. I used to party in La Maria up in the hills in Cartagena, in La Toxica Club. If you guys, I know Flip knows where La Toxica is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't let people that look like me normally get in there. Like, you don't get in there. The Uber drivers won't take you there, but I have friends that live in there. I've been to Cartagena probably 8 or 9 times. I've been to Medellin like 15 times. I lived in Bogota for 3 years. I've been to Quibdó, which is Black Colombia. I've been to Cali like 6 times. Amazonas, Tunja, basically everywhere. Santa Marta, Barranquilla. I put it at a 5. And the reason why I put it at a 5 is this. Very few places in the world can things go from this to this in the split second. And part of the reason why I left Colombia was the fact that, like, I almost got scopolamine by a girl on my 3rd date. You know what I mean? Not a hoe, not a regular girl that I had met at a regular place, not online, not on Tinder. And I almost got it. I caught her, but like that could have been my life. You know what I mean? And for me, that was a big turnoff. You can have an amazing time in Colombia. There is so much to see in that country, but the potential for things to go sideways really fast. And when I mean sideways, let me explain to you. Imagine that I'm one of these chicas and I go up to Flip and I say, I put something in his drink or whatever the four different ways they do it. And Flip, I say, Flip, let's go to your bank right now. Let's go hit the ATM. And then he'll be like, all right, let's do it. And then I'll go take 500 US out of his account. And then I'm going to take Flip back to his place and I'm going to say, hey, Flip, let's open up your banking on your computer. And you're going to be like, that sounds like a great idea. You'll do whatever they tell you. And then you'll carry the laptop out to the car for them. So
here's the thing. So that's why I said let's keep safety out of this, because a country like Colombia will go all the way down if we add safety to the fuckery chart. Because someone's said in the chat, fuckery is every country. We're talking about levels of it and which one has the most. And we're gonna go back to each country again. But if we added safety to Colombia, we know the number will go down, obviously. Now I'm gonna tell this story real quick since we're on Colombia and what he just said. And I got my guys in the chat. Good time, Grego. I got Des. You can find heaven and hell. I got all my Colombia guys in here as well. I see a bunch of Colombia guys. Jay Clyde, a bunch of Colombia guys. So I'm gonna tell the story. Now, Colombia is great too, by the way. It's just there is a danger factor for you guys that don't know how to get around Colombia. I got guys who've been to Colombia and never had one issue. But then I got guys who lived in 20 years and have nothing but issues, or had an issue here and there. So don't get it messed up. It's just that your chances of having an issue are higher in Colombia than most places. Now, I'll give you guys a story in Cartagena. Crazy because I ran across these pictures the other day. We were in Cartagena hanging out. Now, if you guys know, everybody knows Delirium, right? And everybody knows what's the name of the actual club? The club that Delirium is in now. I forgot the name of it. I'm sorry. That club has been around. All right, that's a terrible neighborhood in Cartagena, outside the wall city. Delirium's in there now in the back. But whatever the name of that, if someone could put the name of that club in here now. I used to go to that club all the time. All right, it's a side spot. It's kind of it's always been an after hour spot, but tourists weren't going there. Kicked it with a couple guys. We went out there, so I ended up going back to that spot. My boy was meeting somebody, and so she brought like 3 girls with her, and then we just drinking hookah, kicking it. So during the time, I'm the only one speaking Spanish, so the girls are talking to me, and they're annoying me. Okay, they're beautiful. 2 Venezuelan, 1 Colombian, but they're annoying me because they keep taking bumps. So I'm actually to the point where I'm hoping, like I want to snitch. I'm hoping security comes and gets them out of here. But security happens to walk over, and I go, oh, thank God, he's going to get rid of these motherfuckers. And he goes, can I get some? And I go, oh, man. So security takes a bump. Now I'm like, Jesus Christ. And these girls are very pretty. It's just that I don't like drugs. I'm not a drug addict. You know, I just don't do drugs. So each his own. I don't care. So they're doing their thing. I'm talking to them. We're having a good time. Now, between time, I doze off in the club real quick. It's been a long day. We drinking. I'm tired. As I wake up, which they decided to take pictures with me while I was sleeping.
I do that too, by the way. I got a whole collection.
It's cool. It is what it is. If you do all the stuff I do before 10 a.m., you'd fall asleep too. So I wake up real quick. I take a 10-minute nap, 15-minute nap. I wake up. So we're talking again. And I say, hey, y'all mind not doing that shit no more around me? Like, it's just annoying. They're like, cool. So one of the chicks is like, she's kind of like the leader, but she's cool. And she's like, I think you're really cool. So she starts talking. Here's the wild part. Between drinks and drugs, they just opened up to me. And they were like, I think one of the girls' phones kept going off. And I said, oh, your boyfriend mad. And she goes, no, we work for him. And she breaks it down. Now, this is why I can't tell these stories too much, because certain stories are like, getting a little weird. And you'd probably say this, so Greg, why is Greg having that conversation? I like to talk and I like information. So basically, this 3-girl crew was a crew of girls one of the scope crews. They were like, it was back now. I don't know now, but years ago it was two main scope crews, probably not it now, and they were part of one of the main scope crews. They only worked in Medellin, as they explained to me. So they're like, no, well, we're chilling in Cartagena now, but we're waiting to get called back to Medellin. I'm like, oh, so I checked my drink, and they all start laughing. I'm like, wait a minute, I dozed off. Let me make me another drink. They're like, nah, you cool? We ain't doing that. And the girl said, why would we tell you? I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. So as the night went on, it's just weird because they're breaking it down to me that the dude that was calling them was letting them know to be in Medellin tomorrow because they got work to do. And I'm telling the whole crew the next day, I'm like, yo, this shit is wild. The way they were breaking it down to me, how they just get together, the two girls start kissing, get the guy, boom. They go drug him and take their shit. And it's a whole setup. They send a text, dude shows up. Like you said, they tell him what to do, pin code, pin numbers, passwords, all that shit. Yep. And I'm like, they really told me this shit. And it blew my mind that they felt so comfortable telling me this. And they were kind of proud of it. Like, yeah, we make money. I'm like, okay. So to hear that from someone, I already understand. Remember, for you guys that don't understand how social media works, it's just repeating the same thing we've already done. The druggings have been going on long before social media. It's just more polarized now because we have social media. I'm in multiple groups. These groups are actually called Dating and Getting Drugged in Medellin, Dating and Getting Drugged in Colombia. This is the name of the actual groups.
Yep.
And in these groups, what you don't know is a lot of people never report it. They'll talk about it in the group, and they won't report it to the police based on embarrassment, based on their family not knowing. So what happens more than you know. The things that get reported are the guys that hopefully get the police involved and get their money back or get something back, or file a report to at least go to their bank and say, hey, this is what happened. Do they get their money back? That stuff I don't know. But these things happen a lot. So when I'm sitting there telling you Colombia is a great place to be, I've never had an issue in Colombia. I love it out there. It just, like I said, Medellin just got boring to me. That's a personal thing. But you just got to be careful. More so than you have to be most places. Like, I'll bring Brazil into this conversation. I love Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro outside of Copacabana is a dangerous motherfucking place.
I've never had a problem.
I've never had an issue. I hang out all over the place, right? But guys will tell you, I've told people, hey, man, I'm going to see you later tonight at 4x4 because I don't think you should come here with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to go to a certain place everybody shouldn't go to. And I won't feel comfortable bringing you there. So it is what it is. But I tell that story to say, like, these things are going on and on and on. There are carefree guys who don't care about it. But one of the most honest things I've seen people do, some people I know, one guy passed away 2 years ago. There's guys who've gotten drugged multiple times. And they just go, it is what it is. So, anybody get caught slipping, even the veterans. So don't let nobody, you got to know how to move. Even veterans can get caught out there. It's who you surround yourself with and the type of people. But a lot of y'all, like I said, I got my guys in the chat that love Colombia or Colombia vets. They know how to move. They have a good network. The people they deal with aren't doing none of that stuff. But when you meet a girl by Parquet, yeah, it is. You meet a girl in the hood, yeah, more than likely she's doing that stuff. So be a little careful with that. So I'm giving the Colombia fuckery a 4, and just you said a 5.
Only because I live there and I've seen people robbed at gunpoint at like noon in rich neighborhoods. So my experience is a little different. But I'm not saying you can't go to Colombia and have an amazing trip 10 times in a row. But like,
yeah, fact, 100% fact.
I mean,
so far, knock on wood, I have never had one issue in Colombia.
But you usually go with the crew, right? You go with the crew.
Remember, I was going by myself first. I've always tried to by myself first, and I bump into people. But I also understood Colombia prior to going there. I think that's a big. This is for everybody, for every country. Understand the countries you go. Now, I grew up with Colombians, Puerto Rico, a lot of Puerto Rican, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Colombians, my main friends. Understanding the people of where you're going to will help you leap. Yes, I hardly know any Dominicans. Sorry, and I live here. understanding the people and the places you're going to will put you leaps and bounds of basic travel. When I say basic, meaning someone who's just coming not knowing anything. I already knew from the vets of Colombia how Colombia was. I already knew from my Colombian friends, who basically like my brothers, how Colombians are. So I didn't walk through the door with being blindsided. When I got to Colombia, I was more blindsided by the openness of the drug use. That messed me up. Now I heard about it, because a lot of y'all don't know nothing more to Colombia than what you see on Narcos, which is dope. Great show. I love it. And, let's go see Pablo. That's cool. Whatever you do. But the openness in the drug use is the only thing that was a surprise to me. And because they just do it in open. It's it's legal to a certain
Wide
amount.
open.
So they're just in the open doing it. That kind of messed me up. Now I went to La Isla, my first night in Colombia. We went to that bar across from Hooters with all the Venezuelans. I got the name of that one. Then we went to La Isla. So this is my first night. I just landed, went through customs, got to the spot. My man said, "Let's go." Now my man's a cop from Chicago, and we get in La Isla. So me and him are talking, drinking and talking. Girls are there, but we're just talking because I'm just like, he give me the ins and outs, breaking stuff down, and what we're gonna do for the night. And girls keep walking up, asking for tips, and I'm like, yeah, all right. So this one girl walks up, asks for tips, and I snatch her money out of her hand, playingly, right? The entire club was like, no one knew what to do. I guess they thought I was serious. And I go, nah, mommy, I'm playing. Here you go. Get a drink. But as I decided to look up and really pay attention to my surroundings, I'm chilling with my mans. I ain't worried about nothing. But I pay attention to my surroundings.
That could have been really bad.
Well,
that could have been really bad.
I was comfortable in there. Everybody was cool. So we started talking. I kind of was like, he watched my back out while I chased, but it really wasn't that type of vibe in there, if you know what I mean. At that night, at least. So when I decided to look up and really look around and okay. And plus it was some girls dancing. Let me look up and see what they look like. I turned to my man. If he's watching, he's gonna start dying. I said, bro, can I ask you a question? He said, what? I said, is everybody in here high? He started cracking. Mind you, he's the police. He started cracking up. He said, bro, I wonder how long it'll take you to realize that. I said, nah, for real. It's every single person except me and you high. He was like,
yep.
Yeah. I said, bro, the security's high, the bartender's high, the dancer's high, the manager's high. Everybody bloodshot eyed red, but it's normal there. I'm not used to seeing every single person under the influence. It is what it is. So I think that's the only thing that blew my mind over there. Other than that, I've always had a great time in Colombia, and like I said, knock on wood, no issues at all. Yes, and I do speak Spanish, which to a lot of people is a hurdle, but the communication takes you leaps and bounds in any country you go to. So I agree with that.
See, I got through the crash course. I got crash course because my first month in Colombia, I was up in Santa Marta, and I was actually going to start the channel that weekend. And I'm walking from a restaurant to a taxi stand, and I get jumped by 3 Venezuelans, and I'm fighting it out. And dude, I told you that story.
You
my head
did.
busted open in the back, and
Yeah.
I had a poker on me, and I hit one of them, and I'm not only worried about I got robbed by one dude, but then I'm worried about the cops and putting the bracelets on me too. But I learned a valuable lesson that night. Everything I should have learned about Colombia over time, I learned in one night, my first month.
One night.
And I learned okay, yeah, they're the criminals, but I made a couple of fatal flaws, I made some mistakes, and I learned, you know what I mean? But I learned a crash course my first month. So I had to go get stitches, and then had to go do a statement with the police because that dude was in bad shape for a while, and next thing you know, I made it through it, but I learned a lot of good things that night, about how Colombia really operates. People don't go to the cops because they don't do anything.
They don't do it, yeah. I mean, and I've seen that. I've seen them all. Every time it's in the groups as well, in the Medellin groups, going to the cops does absolutely pretty much almost nothing.
Nothing, unless you pay them.
I was about to say, unless you give them some bread.
And the problem is, if a chica just scoped you and took all your money, how are you gonna pay the cops to get your shit back?
And then they know you ain't got no money, my friend. So I gave him a 4. Just you gave him a 5. Let's go to the next country, my brother. Next country up for the fuckery. And we're gonna double back on this, y'all. We're gonna double back, but we gotta get through one at a time. Then we'll double back.
You know what? Let's go away from Latin America because I love Brazil. Brazil is like in all of Latin America. Brother? But we're gonna do Thailand. Let's do Thailand.
Okay. So the only thing I gotta say about Thailand.
No ping pong shows.
I will put Thailand at a 10, and even on a scale of 5, a 10, because and not even that I like it like that. Like I'm talking about the fuckery. The women are cool, I guess, if you like that, but there's literally nothing you can't do.
Nope.
If you want to eat sushi off a chick's butt, while she's eating sushi off another chick butt, while she's eating sushi off another chick butt, while she's eating fried chicken off the other chick butt, you can do. Yep. You won't get told no for nothing. Just don't go to a ping pong show. You're gonna see a ping pong show. Do not go. By
the way,
you'll see it. Thank you later. Don't go.
Okay, so everyone, I have to make a disclaimer on this. Flip did not want to do it.
I didn't, and I didn't know what to expect.
Bro. Brendan was in for the night. Gil was in for the night. Steve-O was in for the night. All the other guys were in for the night. And Flip and I were the last 2 standing. And we were drunk. And he goes, dude, let's do some crazy shit. And I was like, ping pong show. And he goes, huh? And I was like, don't worry about it. I got you. My fault. That's on me.
I did not know what to expect. And listen, guys, if you go to a ping pong show,
don't do it.
Enjoy. I don't know if you can make the whole show, but I was like, I think it sounded good.
Bro, you know what it was? When they were decorating the bar, and then that dude came by banging the drum, and he had his hands on the drum. I was done, bro.
I think I was done when the old lady was doing whatever she was doing on stage, and I was like, is she 90? All right, so listen. They definitely pull people off the street for the ping pong show. The reason I'm gonna give Thailand such a high level of fuckery, like I said, it has nothing to do with the women. It has to do with you can literally do every single thing your heart desires. And I'm gonna throw this in there. No Diddy, pause, all that. If you get curious, I'm not, but if you get curious, it's available to you. If you're like, I don't know, when I was 10, I might have thought, hey, you're 57 years old now. You want to go back 47 years and have those strange 10-year-old thoughts? It's available to you. There's nothing you can't do. There's really nothing you can't do in any country, except Thailand invites you. They're like this.
It's out there, bro. It's out there.
It is one of the places that don't seem real. I make the joke that this is Disneyland for you. I'm gonna say Thailand is it's another world. Like and like I said, I'm gonna have fun regardless, no matter where I go. So it ain't really just about one thing. But I analyzed everything. I watched everything in front of me, and you can literally, if you wrote something down in your diary at 18. And you like, one day I'm going to experience this. You can experience it. And it'll be a couple bucks. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, good or bad. And when I say bad, meaning the stuff I don't indulge in. But the level of fuckery to me is so high because most people don't say no. I don't think I heard no more than twice in my trips to Thailand. And when I say no, meaning I asked for 7-Eleven got the American product, so I can't say no to that. I asked for something outrageous. No, we don't got that, but we got this. There's another option. So you won't get told no. You know what I'm saying? Like it's weird to not go ever. You know what I'm saying? So that's why to me the level of fuckery is so high. But ping pong. I'm gonna take that down. Wait a minute. Here you go. I'm gonna put this comment from High Learn. Hold on. He said, Thailand is a place you cannot exaggerate a story.
No.
That's Bro, that's the perfect way to put it. Thailand is a place you cannot exaggerate a story. You're under exaggerating the story. You understand me? You're under exaggerating the story because
When you
it's
hear
just
someone
like
tell
that.
when you hear someone tell a wild story and you would normally be like, that dude's full of it, he's lying, he's capping. In Thailand, it's a possibility that that dude is not lying.
And he's leaving a part of the story out. He's like the part he don't want to tell. You're like, wait a minute, what happened? You're missing an hour out the story, bro. I've been hanging with dudes out there. You can listen. You wake up at 8 in the morning. You want to get a BJ while you drink your coffee. You can get it done. There's a place for that. You want to get some Taco Bell.
By the way, I had that yesterday here in Vietnam. I had a coffee while I was getting one.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. And when I say I'm not struggling to say that, I'm just trying to explain. Like I like Thailand. It's cool. Is it a place I have to be? No. Like I said, I don't travel for women, but they're not as appealing to me as other countries. But I gotta be honest with you on what the fuckery level is. I would be lying if I was not telling you the truth. In Thailand, you can go get, and we did this. You can go get Taco Bell. You can go get a couple of vodkas. It was it 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning? A couple of vodkas.
A gummy.
A gummy. Then you get a coffee with a BJ. And it's just a normal day.
And it's not even 10 yet.
Yeah, it's not even 10 a.m. yet. And then you go get lunch. Hey, you hungry? Get some lunch. Like, getting a phone call to come outside at 6 or 7 in the morning when I just got home and I'm, hey, are you up? You don't sleep. Hey, I'm up. You want to come over here? Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. It's one of them things that just is weird. All right. It's also, now for me, it's a lot of weird shit too. But yeah, we're talking about levels of fuckery, and I'm gonna give Thailand before we ain't talking about Brazil yet. My highest level of fuckery for right now at this video, I'm only go level 5, so I'm gonna give them a full 5 with stars next to it, asterisks and all that. Plus. You go ahead, Justin.
So I'm also gonna give it a 5+++ for 2 reasons. Because you can do whatever you want, and the ladyboy stuff is so much out there, and you have to work to avoid it. Like you really gotta ask a girl. Like, don't have a question mark and don't question the question mark. You gotta question it, because you will get back to the room and be surprised and be mad and be upset, and your boys are gonna clown you. So
now, just real quick, I'm gonna cut you off. I was at the understanding because when I was around and we did see a couple lady boys in and a couple guys actually talked to them. Well, not knowing, they came out and said, "I lady boy." Like
normally,
they didn't hide that. So maybe it was our group, a couple of guys with some big guys. I don't know, but they came out and were like, "I lady boy," and left it. And so I was like, "Oh, okay," and there's no discussion anymore, right? Now I didn't have that issue, but there was a guy who ran over and talked to one, and as he got closer, the dude yelled it out, "I lady boy," like I don't want no problems. And so I thought it was a normal thing, because I was told before I got there that the clubs were separated. Now when I'm there, obviously they're all in the clubs, like they were everywhere in the normal clubs, so I saw them there.
But now think about this flip: you can handle your booze. You know how much I can drink, and I can handle mine. I know what I'm doing, right? But like now, we both know people that can't handle their booze or whatever else they're doing, because that's also out there. Dude, in Thailand, go to Bangkok. For the guys of you that don't know, there'll be 4 corners on a cross section, right? You're gonna have a weed shop on one corner, a police station on the other, a church on the other, and a 7-Eleven on the other. That's normal. So people weed
is everywhere, so that adds.
And it's legal.
And it's legal.
So if people have been drinking and smoking, and then they go see a girl they think is cute, and they don't hear it or they don't ask, and that's why I think you got to give that plus, because it's really easy to get caught up out there if you don't be careful. You got to ask.
I'm gonna put this comment. Shout to London Town. He says, "Come on, bro." Now here's the thing. I can tell. A lot of people can't, bro. Now,
A lot
what
of
I
people
will say
can't.
is a lot of people can't. What I will say is something I learned years before I ever went. Years was the prettier the girl, it's probably a dude. I
Yep.
was always told that, and literally seeing it with my own eyes, because we did see some lady boys here and there in the street, and in a couple clubs. I was like, yeah, they're not lying. The prettier the girl, it's probably a boy.
It's
Um,
manufactured beauty.
it's manufactured beauty, exactly. But some guys can't tell, and you got to remember something too. When they drinking, guys get. He just said it. Guys get too drunk. Hey, baby, I love you. You know, some of y'all do it in American clubs, like
And then
forget
he goes,
Thailand.
"Yeah, I love you too."
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, uh, I don't have the urge to indulge, and nor will it ever be around me.
Nope.
But hey, each his own. You know what I'm saying? But I do know that I can see a guy getting too drunk. I actually have come across people who told me of stories, and just slipping up. You know what I'm saying? But I remember one story was told down here in Sosua, which is wild, of Thailand, how the dude realized while he's getting the BJ that it was a lady boy. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, so you kicked his ass, right? And his boy chimes in and goes, he just said, fuck it, he already started. I was like, oh no, we got that. We can't do this. We cannot, sorry. No. Me and him do not talk anymore. We cannot do that. So he said, well, yeah, the money thing is different. We're not going to talk about the money thing because every country dudes is run out of money. The sex pats that turn into expats that turn into broke pats, that's different. So we got one more country. I gave Thailand a 5 with the star plus plus plus. You gave it with the star plus plus levels of fuckery. We got to add this in here. You've been there probably more than me. I feel Thailand is very safe.
Oh, super safe.
I feel it's only people I ever see fighting are drunk Germans and Russians. I don't see anybody else arguing and fighting.
Don't raise your voice to a local, and most of your problems will never happen. But I think the one thing that starts everything.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I've never heard a local raise their voice.
Because they know better.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I've never had a local raise their voice. So
they won't because it's against their culture. But if you do it to them, they're gonna fight because they got to save face in Asian culture. I remember talking to the owner of Hemingway's, which is like an English bar there. I know Hemingway's. Yeah. And I was talking to him, and he goes, "I made a mistake one time when I moved here, and I learned never to make that mistake again." He's like, "One time, a guy came, he acted a fool, and I raised my voice, and a few hours later, a guy rolled by on a bike, and when the door popped open to let a customer in, you heard a couple of pop pew pew." Oh, and he's like, I never raised my voice again, even as a bar owner. I learned to keep my voice down and just handle it.
Yeah, no one wants pew pew pew. Like, we don't want that.
Nope, none of that.
As I said, Colombians talk loud, Brazilians talk loud, Dominicans talk loud. I've never heard a Thai raise their voice.
They don't.
Never heard
because it leads to problems. It leads to problems.
Like even when you're in a bar and someone's trying to talk over the music, the Thai, I'm like, what'd you say? They still talking really low. So for me personally, there's a reason to raise my voice because I've never heard anyone in my trips.
It doesn't happen.
Raise their voice. They don't even talk loud. You know what I'm saying?
No, in Vietnam they will because that's the culture here. They're loud here.
They're loud. Okay, they're loud over there. But in Thailand,
Vietnam it's different. But don't miss.
You tell me if I'm wrong. Thailand, they're not even loud.
No, because it's disrespectful in Thailand. It's considered disrespect, and they will fight over it because they feel like it's a slight to their name.
I've seen some videos.
Yep.
All right, so let's go to Brazil since that is our final country number. We can add something in later, but we'll stick to the top 4. So Brazil. Now my version of Brazil is different than most people's version of Brazil. It's a little different. Just like I saw somebody posted Cuba. My version of Cuba got a couple people mad that hadn't been to Cuba in a couple years. You know, I don't give a fuck who gets mad, but when I was in Cuba and Taylor Bay was in Cuba, Havana reminded me of Sosua. And some people got mad when I said it. And I said, bro, I don't know what happened 3 years ago, pre-COVID, but the Havana I'm in right now is almost like Sosua. All right. So that's another story. Let's do Brazil. And like I said, my version of Brazil is a little different. I'm going to give Brazil a solid 5. And here is why. No, you know what? I'm going to give them a 4, and they get knocked down for one reason only. Cigarettes. Every fucking body. Like everybody does drugs in Colombia. Not everybody, but 98%. Everybody smokes cigarettes in Brazil, and I fucking hate cigarettes. I've literally been in clubs where people are chain smoking. I'm like, I gotta go. Like, this is ridiculous. I had a girl sit in my VIP next to me. It was a seat open, so she sat down, and she chain smoked 4 cigarettes in 40 minutes. I had to get her. I can't breathe. So they go and notch down for cigarette smoke zone. The fuckery in Brazil, there's a time to be had. Okay, whether it be the beach, whether it be the clubs, and I ain't just talking about the clubs in Copa. You got to step out of your boundaries a little bit. Copa's got the dope spots you have. There's tons of after-hour spots in Copa. So a lot of y'all don't even know you can party till 10 in the morning in Copacabana. Okay, if I'm up, I'm headed to the after-hour spots. If I'm just having a great night, I might want to stay out and go to the after-hour spots. If Johnny Flocka was here, me and him have been after-hour spots. Like I just go to after-hour spots. You can party till 10 in the morning if you really want to. Okay, like you can literally just go. We've got gone and just got breakfast for no reason, just cause. The fuckery is at a high level there because, and I'm gonna do this video later. I've been meaning to do this video for a long time. Brazilian women, and I think they're beautiful, great. We'll argue about their ass because Brazilian butt lift comes from Brazil, and Brazilians wear thongs, so it makes their butt look different, like in your rearview mirror. Objects may be bigger than they appear. That's Brazilian butts, but that's a different story. Brazilian women are what I call, like you guys say, they say in America, city girls. They love to party. They love to enjoy life. They're doing a lot of stuff for the gram. I hate those stupid TikTok dances, but they like to have fun. And Brazilians, period, even the guys, like to have fun. Whereas Dominicans love to party. Dominicans create a party in the street, right? A Brazilian create a party on the beach, create a party on the street, create a party in the Uber. Like, let's just party, right? Let's get it on. And because the party doesn't have to stop if you don't want it to.
Nope.
I tell everybody who will listen, the reason I fell in love with Rio de Janeiro mostly is because it reminded me a lot of Sosua when I first got here. My first 4 years of Sosua, Rio, they almost fit perfect. Like if it was a puzzle, it would fit perfectly together. You know what I'm saying? I got the same vibe my first 4 to 5 years in Sosua as I've had my whole time in Rio. Now, I haven't been there this year. I haven't been there since December. A lot going on with my traveling right now. But that's why I have an affinity for Rio de Janeiro, because it literally reminds me of how. Now I miss the old Rio. Guys were inviting me all the time. Guys, I didn't have a passport back then, and then when I wasn't getting. I got my visa now, but I wasn't getting the visa back then because you had to submit your passport, and I wasn't doing that. But my time going there has been amazing. It's one of them things where it just reminds me a lot of how it used to be here. And like I said, Sosua is still Sosua. I can still have a great time, but it's just copy and paste to me. And if it's that good for me now, I could imagine when everybody said, "Oh, back in the day, back in da 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 da." I'm like, yeah, it was pretty dope. But I didn't get to experience the old stuff. The club helped, and I didn't get to experience none of that. Mine is, I think it's going on 4 years I've been going to Brazil. But like I said, I've been there a lot, 4 or 5 trips a year. So it definitely a good time. I'll let you talk, Just, but on the danger scale, Brazil is very dangerous outside of Copa. Will you readily run into problems? No. So if you're not wearing jewelry, not showing off, you can have a good time. The reason I say that because you got your jack boys everywhere, like you got in America.
Everywhere.
Like the jack boys there, they're trying to get money. They got jack boys that run along the beach in Copacabana. That's why so many cops out there. So only good thing about Copacabana is if you rob a tourist, mob justice comes. They literally beat. I've seen them beat the hell out of people. But outside of Copa, you won't find that big a police presence.
Nope.
So you kind of got to be about your P's and Q's. I've brought guys all over. I've traveled to different parts all over Rio. No issues whatsoever. For the most part, Brazilians are very friendly people. Very cool, very cool. It's actually a thing like here when I ran into in DR. You go to their neighborhoods, their favelas, their areas where you're not supposed to be. They actually kind of got a respect for you. It's kind of a kind of a thing like, okay, you over here, okay, that's cool. Who where you at? Like da da da, and you start kicking it, and it's like, okay, it's a little appreciation for you even being over here, knowing you probably most people won't come or be too scared to come. So
think about this, Flip. You've been there enough. Tell them what is 10 minutes away from Ipanema and Leblon.
10 minutes away?
Yeah, the favelas are like less than 10 minutes away from there.
Oh, the favelas are everywhere. Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah,
they're
Rosina and the other one, the really dangerous one that starts with like a J.
There's
like
another one that starts with an M.
Yeah, that one they're literally like right around the corner from Ipanema and Leblon. So like,
bro, they're everywhere. Dre, I see you. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna add Dre to this chat, but it's it's on you right now. Give us your fuckery level. Now my fuckery level is 4, solid 4. I'm gonna bring Dre to the stage. Go ahead, Dre. What up?
What up, guys?
Hold on 1 second, Dre. So look, just give your number of Brazil.
I'm gonna do 4+, not a full 5, but a 4+. If I were ever gonna move back to that side of the world, and I had a choice between the U.S., Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, which I love very much, I would move to Brazil. Number 1 on the list. I love Brazil. Rio de Janeiro is one of my favorite places in the whole entire world. It's a top 3 city for me. I freaking absolutely love Rio. If you wear jewelry, have your phone out, leave your stuff unattended, it's gone. Like, gone. But if you don't carry a lot of cash, you don't flash it around, you don't wear jewelry, and you keep your phone in a pocket over your chest, you will never have a problem.
Nope.
Don't get caught out alone at night. You're never going to have a problem. But if you want to have fun, man, Rio de Janeiro, there's a lot of stuff that can happen in Rio just like Thailand. The fuckery can be...
It can be crazy.
Yeah, like the fuckery can be phenomenal. Like...
Oh, yeah, it was wild over there.
Yeah, like, so Rio de Janeiro, I think, is safer than Colombia if you do the right things. I mean, just do the right things. You'll have the best time of your life in Brazil.
I say Rio's safer than Colombia because you're not going to find yourself in those areas in Rio unless you know somebody.
Yep, exactly.
There's areas I had to get permission to go to. There's areas that you can't bring people to. If we wouldn't go with 5 deep to this area, certain areas. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm gonna put it to safety wise above Colombia because the most dangerous areas you're not really gonna go to. Now, I had a situation in the club, really with someone else's situation, but me being me, I stepped into it. Well, these dudes, they had some little mini gangsters over there in the VIP, and someone was kind of doing something. It wasn't that crazy, but it was just I didn't want to start the dialogue, right? I'm the type of person I don't want nobody engaging me if so we don't get into a future conversation and maybe end up in a problem. So I stepped in. I said, "Hey, fellas, y'all have a good one." Da da da. So the one dude kind of looked like now mind you, they're like 30 deep. I'd say 20 deep. And the one little dude, like he wanted a problem. And I kind of was like, all right, man, you have a good one. So then it kind of circled back around again. And we're just partying, enjoying ourselves. And I forgot the name of that club. In what's the name? Bada de Juga. And I go to the dude again. I say, hey, man, we good over here. Y'all have a good one. Later on throughout, I turned my back on him. I was like, whatever. Later throughout the night, I guess he was like the boss. But they all young guys to me. But it was this real white Brazilian. He tapped me on the shoulder. He said, "Hey man, we appreciate you. It ain't nothing. Don't worry." He spoke perfect English. He said, "Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I like how you handle that." And I was like, "No, it ain't nothing. You know, it's just that we over here, y'all over there. There's no reason for us to interact, bro. I don't know you." So he was like, "Nah, it's cool. It's all good." And it ended like that. But it was how I handled it. I wasn't on some rah-rah shit. I was more like, "Peace, guys." And in my mind, I was saying, "I want to get out of here alive." But you know what I'm saying? Had to handle it the proper way.
Because they'll show you. They'll show out in Brazil.
You don't even understand. I could tell security was scared. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I handle things like a man. So at the end of the day, it was going to be, I'm going to poke my chest out too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to poke it out too much. I don't want you to see my titties. So it's like, I'm going to put it right there, but not too much. Because they was really deep. But I handled it. It's funny because a couple dudes was like, "Damn, you handle that?" Bruh, they don't want a confrontation. I sure as hell don't want a confrontation. But allow me to put it out there that if there happens to be a confrontation, someone will be confrontational. Like I was more like, man, I want to get home tonight. That's what I was saying about that. But it is what it is. But it didn't turn enough, and it could have, based on someone else's actions. But my actions were, let me die this down, let me keep it peace. So we got my man Big Bro Dre in the building. First off, are you back in the States, my brother?
My boy, I'm in Germany right now.
Okay. I just see
that money,
the
man.
house in the back, like might have been at the crib. Okay.
Yeah. I'll let y'all check out the scene. It's real German out here.
Nice. He said it's real German. You gotta have where's the Mercedes Benz? Then we know it's German.
Shit, they everywhere, man. Every taxi cab is a Mercedes or a BMW. Shit is crazy, man.
Where's the bunnies at? Where's the bunnies at?
I just saw, you know how it is, Army Guy Travels. It's like 100 of them on bikes right now.
Yep.
So, Dre, how many countries have you been to total?
Oh my God. So I counted the other day, Flip, man. It was about 38. I'm about 38, yeah. But Army Guy Travel, man, you know how that military is, man. Have you going 1,000 different places.
So, yes, sir.
I know you travel for business as well, but
yeah,
you got to experience a little in most of them countries, hopefully.
Oh yeah. Oh, I had my feet in the sand every time I went.
Okay. So,
but what I tell you,
go ahead.
So I know y'all heard y'all talking about like Rio and different places, DR, Colombia. I gotta put my 10 toes down for Thailand, for Asia, man. I gotta be the one because
we both gave it 5. We both gave it 5s with pluses. So all right, so we're gonna start with that, Dre. I'm gonna give you the floor on that one. Give us your view of Thailand when it comes to the fuckery. Since you started with Thailand. Floor is yours.
The fuckery in Thailand is on 10 plus 10, bro. Greg know when we was out there. I ain't gonna put his business out there because that's my man. But but what I tell you is we had a good time. It was safe. The ladies gonna show you love. They gonna show you the most love. They gonna wash your feet. They gonna rub your back. You know what I'm saying?
Time out. I did not have my feet washed and nobody rubbed my back.
Respect.
Just in case somebody's watching.
Nah. Greg was a good Catholic boy, man. He was a good Catholic boy, man. He was praying the whole trip.
No Diddy.
No Diddy.
Nah, go ahead, Dre. The floor is y'all playing around. Go ahead.
But yeah, man. Like so I've been a bunch of countries, and I'm going to always love DR is gonna always be close to my heart because that's one of the places I probably visited the most.
You were just here not so long ago.
Yeah, I was there in January? I think that was. No, that was March. That was a couple months ago.
That's right. It was March. Yeah.
So yeah, and I hung out there, had a good time, and it's always love. The people love you there. They're gonna treat you right. You don't got to worry about going nowhere. Once they seen you a few times, it's always love. Like you don't got to worry about that. So DR always gonna be close to my heart. But Thailand is something about like you walking outside, everybody showing you love. When I'm in Thailand, I don't feel like I'm black. I feel like I'm an American. So it's different. Like I could walk around and just be myself and have a good time. I don't got to worry about nobody telling me what I can't do. I'm in Germany right now. It's clubs that we can't even go into.
What?
I don't know if y'all know that. Yeah, you could get to the door and they tell you, nah, you can't come in. And they ain't got to give you no reason, but you know why. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's crazy.
Same thing in Japan. Same thing in Japan.
Same thing in Japan. Now, not so much Okinawa, because I like Okinawa. You been over there, Army guy?
Yeah, I've been to Tokyo. That's it.
Yeah, Okinawa is different. I like it over there. But now, like, if I had to put a top 10 list together, a top 5 list, I gotta go Thailand. I gotta throw the Philippines in there, number 2.
I've never been, so I couldn't add to that.
Man,
No
Cebu City,
the curves.
Cebu City, Manila. It's all love. Yeah, it's all love, man. So yeah, but
Boracay.
all of that. It's beautiful. But yeah, if we talking about fuckery though, I'm gonna go Thailand, DR.
Yeah.
1 and 2, bruh.
Because there's no limits to it in Thailand. Like, you know what, dude? Do you know what one person on YouTube comes to my mind when I think Thailand? And he was supposed to come, and he ended up going to CTG. Come Truck With Me. Come Truck With Me. If Come Truck With Me came to Thailand for a week, it would be a movie.
Yeah.
If anybody goes for a week, it's gonna be dope.
Man,
gonna be
you don't know Truck. You don't know Truck.
Uh-oh. Big shout out to Kirby Films. I'm sending you thing right now. Listen, I feel, and I'm gonna step out of the lane we're going into right now. I feel the best camaraderie is Dominican Republic.
Yes, no question.
Second to that is Thailand, because I bumped into a lot of good black, white, all over, same as here, where people actually kick it in Thailand. I had these dudes. So here's the thing. If you guys don't know, I'm Irish. I'm half Irish. So I had these dudes. I walked into a bar. I saw Brendan and some guys. I came out the crib, walked into the bar. And the first thing my man goes is, that black guy's Irish. So, and people don't believe it until I tell them my born last name is Farley. So, what's up? So, these Irish guys just start coming up talking to me. Hey, you a friend of theirs? And I'm like, so I gotta explain how I'm Irish. And when I break it down, they go, "What did you say?" It is, holy shit, you are Irish. I say, yeah, man, I am. So it's like, we kicking it all night. We kicking it, but I say DR number 1 because I obviously have more experience here, but I have felt a lot of camaraderie in Thailand. Now,
yes, I
did feel some negative vibes from certain people here and there in Thailand, but they were the minority. So like I said, when it comes to camaraderie, I definitely got to put DR number 1, but I will give Thailand a super close number 2 because the camaraderie. Yeah. And Dre knows me and Dre hung out, and he was kicking it with mad random people. You know what I'm saying?
So Greg, I can tell you this story because it's safe. But you remember when we walked into Maju? You seen how much love everybody was showing you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We went in the Tiger Bar. People was showing Greg so much love. People he never met. Never met. They wanted to buy him drinks. I don't think Greg had to buy a drink the whole night.
It was one night. Yeah, I was like, please stop.
Like, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. I'm like, damn. And then Steve-O was with us, man. We had a blast out.
Had a ball.
Out there.
Bro, me and Steve-O gonna be out there Friday.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be on that trip, but I had to handle
Steve-O, man. Steve-O a real one.
Steve-O's on the way to Turkey now, I think.
Nah, Steve-O a real one.
Yeah, I'm meeting him there Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I was supposed to be there, but I had graduation.
Oh yeah,
I gotta be there for the kids.
Steve-O is a movie.
But all right, so Dre,
Steve-O's a movie.
Thailand is number 1 in the fuckery. What's your number 2? But besides Philippines, based number on our four live, our four. I'm saying we got Thailand, Brazil, Colombia, DR. So we got your 1. What's your number 2?
If I had to put them in the top, I got to put Brazil last because I only been there one time. My number 2 got to be DR.
That. I respect the Brazil. Okay. Number 2 DR. So number.
And I'm gonna tell
Colombia.
you, it's because it's so many different pockets. It's so many different pockets of DR. Like everybody gonna come to the zoo for the fuckery. But if you want the thrill of the chase, you go to Santo Domingo,
which is where the fire is.
You speak a little Spanish, you gonna get it.
The hottest of the hot are in Santo.
Biggest thing I could say is wherever you go, if they listening, learn the language, learn a little bit of the language so you can
100%.
That's the best way to live. Just learn the language. You know a little bit of Spanish, you're gonna be lit in DR. You know a little bit of Thai, you're gonna be crazy in Thailand. If you know hello and goodbye in Thailand, you lit out there. So yeah, man.
That's a level. That's another level, though. That's another level.
Yo, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, man.
Y'all here? Okay, my
Sin
bad.
chow,
I'm gonna put my
motherfuckers.
screen down by accident. That's a level right there. That's a whole nother level. When I heard a brother speaking.
You know, you learned some Thai out there.
No, I heard a brother speaking Thai. I was like, oh shit. He messed my head up. I was like, what you just say? but you know, he lives. I forgot. Forgive me, I forget his name. He lives over there, but he had been there for a while, so he learned it. And I was like, Jesus Christ! Like that, just heard him spitting it. I was like, okay, I see you, brother.
Yeah.
You know, but the language goes a long, long way. Now, I'll tell you what I did do. I tell you guys I was studying Portuguese last year, but I got too comfortable speaking Spanish in Brazil.
Yeah.
So what I decided to do was say F Portuguese, right? I've decided to take my Spanish to another level. And I'll tell you why. I went and looked at some dude, like there's a lot of dudes on YouTube. You go to these language channels, there's a lot of language dudes. And one dude, I can't remember his name, he's a teacher. He broke it down based on, Vaughn, I'll see you in the back. Give me 1 second. Based on the type of Spanish that you can get away with and understand more. Now I understand a decent amount of Portuguese because it's similar words. He was basically like, study Mexican Spanish. If you study Mexican Spanish, you'll be this close to Portuguese. So I decided to step my Spanish up because, you know, I speak Dominican Spanish. But when I go to Colombia, I can't speak Dominican Spanish. I've had a Colombian tell me, it sounds like Spanish, but I don't think that's Spanish. So I dead ass. Like I was like, I just knew I was saying the right word. So I'm leveling my Spanish up basically above and beyond what I'm at now. So that when I do go back to Rio, my communication skills are a little bit easier. Not that I've gotten by in Rio, no problem. But some words I can't get. But the professor was basically, like I said, I forgot his name of his channel. He was basically like, if you can get a grasp of Mexican Spanish and you go to now if you go to Portugal, you're fucked. But if you go to Brazil, you're able to understand and speak a little bit different, like comparable to a Dominican Spanish or even Colombian Spanish, a little bit more Castillo, a little different. But that's the way he broke it down. So I decided to love my Spanish up. Now, if it works, I'll let you guys know, when I go back. If it don't work, I'll be like, God damn it, let me go open up Duolingo. You know what I'm saying? But I think Portuguese is a great language. I'm just so entrenched in Spanish that I found myself speaking Spanglish in Rio, like if that makes sense. I was speaking a lot of Spanglish in Rio. I get away with it, but when I went to downtown in Rio, Central, is that what they call it? Central, I forgot what they call it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Nobody understood me for the life of me.
Nope.
I was like I actually know what it feels like when y'all don't know what's going on. And I was like, oh my God. You know what? I only gotta put Uber in my phone. Let me get the fuck up out of here. Central. I was in Central. In Rio. But at the end of the day, the language definitely helps. Is it the end all be all? No, because I got guys that been living in DR for 30 years, don't speak a lick of Spanish, and they live a great life. I got guys over in Rio right now don't speak a lick of Portuguese. They live a great life. So it's not end all be all, but it does help your experience. And I'll tell you from me, I couldn't do the things I've done in DR if I didn't speak Spanish. I couldn't go to places I've gone. I wouldn't feel comfortable, number one. You know what I'm saying? My confidence and arrogance only goes so far and not knowing what this motherfucker behind me saying. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, I'd be having my chest poked out, ready to get hit upside the head. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I'm dying.
No, because I tell people, it's good to know what the motherfucker over there saying about you. You know what I mean? Man. Some of y'all be sitting there, they be like, I swear to God, I've seen this with my own eyes. They'll be like, look at that gringo. He think he's so smart around us Dominicans. And they go, right, gringo? And they look, right? And you go, yeah, right, yeah, see.
Sí, claro, sí, claro.
Claro.
You don't even know what they just said. And I'll be like, what the hell? And you be like, sí, hermano, te
Claro,
amo.
ya tú sabes.
You know what's funny? You might not know what they're saying, but you know when they're talking shit. Like
Sometimes, not all times. Sometimes they do it in a playful manner to make it. They smile to make it seem like if they know you don't know. Listen. I've been around.
Yep.
And I've been at one table with my people, and there's an American in a table with his people, and me and him gonna say what up to each other, and I'll ear hustle a little bit because they talking loud, but they're smiling and they're talking crazy about dudes. And in my mind, and matter of fact, the people at my table will be like, "Yo, those are his friends," and I'm like, "I don't know, none of my business though. I don't know what's going on over there." So it's like sometimes you won't know. You won't know if there's any aggression in the underlying situation because they're playing you the whole time. I want to welcome my man Vaughn.
Dude,
what up, Vaughn?
I'm running my translator always.
Always have the translator, but can you really depend on it in a serious situation?
No, that's not what I mean. When I'll have it going, so I'm listening to their conversation.
Oh well, that happened to me in Thailand with Brendan in the massage parlor.
And I was there.
The chick, you were there when the chick clicked on speaker?
Yeah. He had the headphone. He had it on, and it started speaking it out loud.
It started translating everybody out loud. I was like, "Oh my god,
dude!" Because you fell asleep getting your lower legs done.
Pause.
Hey yo.
Hey Vaughn, what up?
Big pause.
Real quick, I'm gonna keep it 100. Like I say, like this. I'm a novice traveler. I'm still new, and I think I had something to say about this because if from y'all opinion, as a new traveler, what is the top 4? Like, what were you? I always hear you gotta go to DR first. From DR, where would you go from DR? What's the best place to go? Second, third, fourth?
Well, I'm gonna answer this real, but you guys can answer next. I don't say DR first. I would say Sosua first.
Yeah.
Not just for the fuckery. Sosua is easy to navigate. A lot of people will speak English here. You'll bump into like-minded brothers who can guide you along the way. So that's why I say Sosua first. Then your next stop should be Santiago, Santo Domingo. Before you choose another country. I'm not trying to keep your money here in DR because once you leave Sosua, I lose. But I'm saying learning how to be around other cultures that's not your own, Sosua. And like I said, forget the women. There's guys here that you'll bump into all the time. You already know that, Vaughn. There's dudes you're going to talk to. There's information going to be passed to you. Then I would move to Santiago, Santo Domingo. Then I would say try. I tell everybody, even though if I say something negative about Colombia, I tell everybody you should try Colombia. Once you do Santiago, Santo Domingo, it's going to put you in a state of mind of understanding everybody's not going to talk to you. See, Sosua, everybody talking to you. My friend. You go places in Santiago, Santo Domingo, they're like, ooh, gringo, icky. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're on your own. So it's a different level over there. But if you know how to navigate, you have a great time. And kind of shout to Ron Howard. He said it best. Ronan Travel, excuse me. I just said his whole government. If you jump out the window in Santiago, Santo Domingo, in a good way, you can have a great fucking time. Yep. Like most of Ron's experiences with him just being like, man, fucking, I'm here, and he'll just do some. I'm going here. No other Americans. He had a great time. But a lot of guys, I've always explained that in Santiago, Santo Domingo, in Colombia, in Brazil. I haven't seen it in Thailand because Thailand is fuckery everywhere. But if you take the fuckery out of an area, would you really know how to move? Would you really enjoy yourself? Would you have the confidence to say, I'm going to walk in that bar right there? If there's not people just throwing themselves at you? That's why I say, like, Sosua is one way. Everybody's talking to you. But when you go to a place where no one actually wants to talk to you,
you got to work it out.
You got to work it out. And can you maneuver? Can you really go in? Like, I've been in spots, and I've had to tell guys, hey, everybody be cool. Be tranquilo out here. Be tranquilo out here because, this ain't Sosua. This ain't Rumba. Be a little cool. and we still have a great time. But they go, okay, it's a little different over here. Yes, it's a little different. People ain't throwing themselves at you. People ain't rushing to you every will. You have to understand that you're in this bar. You're a regular customer like everybody else. So enjoy it, and you can maneuver. You just have to know how. So for
And
me,
people may not
that's my
help you
story.
out if you're in trouble too. That's a big thing.
I found that a little different in DR. I find people do kind of help, but as long as you don't put yourself in a bad situation, I guess. But
Yeah.
I'll let you guys answer next. I say DR, Sosua, then another part of DR, then Colombia. That's what I said. What do you guys say?
I think that's good advice. I would say definitely Sosua first because it's super safe. As a first time traveler getting outside of the US, Sosua is a training ground for traveling. Um, I agree. Go to Santiago before Santo Domingo though, because Santo Domingo is crazy.
Mhm.
It's fun, but like, dude, remember that one time, Greg, when we were like, you were like, "Oh yeah, I see you're already in Santiago. You want to meet up with us at Fridays?" Dude, I had been there the night before. I went out, went to a local spot, met up with Greg and Lance and them, and then I went to a baseball game all by myself. Like, you
Facts.
got to be willing to go do that shit, and you'll have a good time.
100%.
I I think if you have the vacation time, take that leap and go to Thailand or Vietnam or somewhere out there. But if you
Yeah.
got to stay in the western side of the world, if you're going to do Colombia, if you don't mind bad weather, obviously Bogota. Bogota is party 7 days a week. But if you want the beach, it's got to be CTG. Medellin, I agree with
Hey,
Greg. I get bored. I get bored of Medellin. But Brazil is always going to have my heart, man. Brazil, man, I freaking love Rio de Janeiro and Fortaleza, Florianopolis,
But see,
not Sao
those
Paulo.
are experienced traveler places, though. As
yeah.
he's saying, when you
Yeah,
start, where would you start and then where would you go? So, like for
Rio.
the before that, he's right. You got to go to certain areas, and you got to and like we both said, you got to understand that none of this stuff's going to be handed to you like it is going to be in Sasua. It's a little
If
bit
you go
easier.
to, if you're gonna do Rio, here's my advice as a first-time Brazil traveler: stay in the main areas that everybody goes to. Don't
Copacabana,
venture
Ipanema.
out. Like Ipanema, Copacabana, and Leblon. That's it. After that, then once you've been there for a while and you've met some locals that you can like use, you'll start. The locals will latch on to you in a good way. So like that's how I started going up to the favelas, going out to the local areas, finding the better beaches. Actually, there's some beaches that are way better than anything the regular beaches. So that's all I would say, man. Just start with the big areas where all the tourists go, and then branch out from there. But you got it, Dre.
I'm gonna say, guys, if I'm a brand new traveler, fresh out the paint, so is gonna be my first destination off top, right? But I will stay a little local, right? Instead of going to Santo Domingo right away, I will go Sosua 3 days, party it up, and then I just go spend some time in Puerto Plata because it's close and you could go see some stuff. They got little beach restaurants and stuff. You could practice your Spanish with the waitress and the waitress and the waiters. And people are a little less pushy than in Sosua. People
Wait,
ain't really
wait.
trying to sell you stuff in Puerto Plata,
Hey,
but it's
Dre,
a nice town.
you just said something. I swear to God, I got lost as Army guy was talking, but I want Vaughn. I said you heard me say that. Everybody knows I say this all the time. I agree with that. The
POP.
POP, and here's why.
POP.
I brought almost 1,000 guys to POP alone who
Yeah.
had never been outside of the zoo. So he's right. Forget Santiago for now, unless you're willing to jump out there. But even going 35 minutes to POP
Different.
is a different type of scene. You know what I'm saying? And
Dude,
the
I
good,
spent a month there.
but here's the thing: the good thing about POP with a lot of, and I live there. A lot of guys don't understand. If you get around the right people, and of course, I love going to POP. If you get around the right situation, the right people, POP can give you a taste of Dominican Republic. It can
Yeah.
give you a taste of Santiago. It can give you, without traveling, it can give you a taste of Sosua. without traveling to Sosua. A little bit, but
Because
not much, but a little.
there's
You
fuckery.
can get a
There's
taste of
fuckery
everything.
there.
Yeah,
There's fuckery in POP.
it's fuckery. Yeah, I'm gonna say
Dude, Blackbeard, you got Blackbeard and you got a bunch
Coastal
of other
Bar.
places.
Cool.
I'm gonna
All
say
right.
why
So
POP, why I like POP, Vaughn, is because so POP is it like Flip said, it's a mix. But like you got those, you could go out with the locals. They got like beach bars. Flip took us to TGI Fridays out there. You could go to it's another spot out there.
Oh,
Army guy
Pueblito,
say
El
Coastal
Pueblito.
Bar.
Oh, dude, yeah, Coastal Bar is good, but dude, El Pueblito, El
El
Pueblito.
Plebito. Yeah.
I stayed there for a month before I even moved out to Sosua.
Ooh,
well, okay.
it's nice,
I'm out
man.
there. So I think I got like 3, 4 extra days for Halloween, right? So I might make a day of POP cabaret, something like that. And I definitely do want to go to Santiago.
I love Cabarete. I spent a lot of time in Cabarete.
Yeah.
I might just get a car. I might just like, you know what? I've been shook to drive out there, but I'm just gonna probably just go and do it.
I mean, the driving is kind of crazy, Vaughn. I ain't gonna lie. You know how they drive. They drive wild, man. You got to be a real soldier to driving that.
I mean,
that thing.
I drive on a highway going to Queens. I drive in Harlem. Is
Yeah, you'll be all right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, just yell out some shit outside. K. You'll be you'll be all right. But yeah, nah, the guys is right though. And as far as Brazil goes, man, Army Guy Travels had a good point. You just kind of got to see all the cities, and you kind of got to gauge what you want. Because if weather is what you want, then Cartagena is probably the best spot. Yeah,
Don't forget, if you don't like you Brazil is like 2/3 of the whole continent of
yeah,
South America. So like you got like Sao Paulo, you go to Sao Paulo, right? Sao Paulo, all the girls are light skinned like in Medellin.
I like the
And
darkies.
then go to Bahia. After
Bahia.
after you go to Rio, after you go to Rio, dude, I'm gonna tell you a story. I think I already told you this when we were talking on the phone, Vaughn. The first girl I hooked up with, a regular girl, not a working girl, when I went to Brazil the first time, this girl was like dark with blue eyes and Asian hair. And
Jesus.
it's
She was
because,
bad.
dude, gorgeous. And I asked her, I said, "How did you get so dark but have such blue eyes?" And she's like, "My daddy's Italian, but my mom is like from Angola originally."
Hmm.
So she's dark, right? So she's like, "I got my daddy's eyes and I got my mother's skin." And then she got Asian hair, which is wild. Dude, one of the sexiest women I've ever seen in my life.
Hey guys, but I gotta chime out. Got a little mission I gotta take. But I appreciate you guys having me on. Army Guy Travels, man. Thank you for your service, bro. I know how hard it is. I did a dub, man, so I know how
Oh
hard that
shit.
life could be. I did 20 and retired, bro. So
I
I know
did
how
too,
it
man.
is.
I'm out.
Vaughn, guys, Army Guy and Vaughn, man, Flip. I see you guys in the chat.
All right,
That's
man.
me
Be
creating the
safe.
chat. So hey, y'all be safe. I'm gonna chime out, man. Peace and love, guys.
Guten Tag in Kaiser wie heißt du?
Well, I don't know none of that
Yeah.
German.
Yeah.
Hey,
All
salute
right.
to you guys, man. Y'all doing it for the travel community, man. So salute.
So you know what we need to do, Vaughn? You and I need to take you. We need to go do a trip, bro. We need to go
No,
do something fun, man.
I'm gotta like we got like after this, I gotta either figure out I gotta go to Africa because I gotta go to
I,
Africa.
I'm
Whether
going
it be
next year.
Nigeria, Kenya, I like watching Austin Hollerman got me really on my Africa trip right now. I'm like, I gotta go to Africa.
Well, I
Like,
told you I go to my Nigerian visa appointment on um in July when I get back from Italy and I get back to Vietnam. I have an appointment at the Nigerian embassy in Hanoi for
you know
my
what?
visa.
I'm going to work on that because I need to do that. I need to do more research.
Bro,
I
their
gotta.
biggest office is in Atlanta, but their second biggest office is right there in New York. I think it's in Brooklyn, bro. So you
Yeah,
can just
I talked to them already. Like, because I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people are like, yeah, you don't want to go to Africa by yourself. And I'm over here like, bro, I ain't gonna be waiting for people to go. So I'm trying to go to Africa, blah, blah, blah. So now I got my feet wet with the travel space. I'm like more receptive. Actually, my homegirl go to Nigeria all the time by herself. So it's like she just hires security. So it's
Yeah.
like she hires security and she it doesn't cost that much apparently. And she got like 4 armed guards or something like that. She has to drive her and then she go to Lagos.
So my plan is to leave Vietnam in May of next year and stay May to May in Europe, and then in May of 2027 to move to Africa for a year. That's my plan.
So when are you trying to go to Africa? When you going?
But I'm gonna go on a trip there, just a regular trip, like next summer.
Next summer. All right. So I got time.
Yeah,
I'm gonna figure this out. 'Cause I'm definitely trying to go with you. I don't have to be dolo.
yeah, dude, we got it. Like we'll just plan it out. Um, Reason being too is because like man, this year I go to I just got back from Brunei. I go to Thailand in like a day, and then I get back here, and after a day here, I go to Bali. Then I go to Italy next month, and then I'm going to Nepal and Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. So like I'm gonna knock out all of Asia while I'm here, and then I'm gonna do Europe, and then I'm gonna hit Africa, bro.
Yeah, we gotta keep that together. I mean, we'll talk offline more so about that. But I
Yeah,
just wanna
definitely.
I wanted to chime in as like for like I know there's new travelers on here that actually might want to know what's a plan as far as what they want to do. 'Cause I know how easy Sosua is, and then like I mean like I'm a person like, all right, we going? If not, all right, I go by myself. I'll figure it out. I
That's
just
what
know
I do.
I just know the GPS ain't like that down there for real. So that's the biggest thing.
You got to be careful in Nigeria. Like Nigeria, I've been there when I was in the military, but I've never been as a civilian. Nigeria is a beautiful country with beautiful people, but you do have to be very careful, and it's not for a first-time traveler. Like that's a wild west. So you definitely like got to have some experiences under your belt for most, not all of Africa, but like most of Africa. For me, if I were going to give someone a first time trip to Africa country, go to Cape
Hmm.
Verde.
Okay.
Like Cape Verde is a safe island country with beautiful beaches and some of the most beautiful
I
African
heard a
women
lot about
in the
that
world,
place.
bro. Go to Cape Verde, brothers. That
I,
is the fieriest women in the world.
dude, like I heard a lot of good things about that place, yo. I've been hearing like nothing but good things about that place.
Like I can't wait to go back, bro. I went when I was in the army, but I did it on like a vacation. Cape Verde
Yeah,
is gorgeous.
yeah, all the army, like Army, Air Force, everybody I know that went to Africa, they all said the same thing. You gotta be on your P's and Q's out there. You shouldn't go by yourself. And it's like, but I don't know, man. I don't know. But Cape, I didn't even think about that like that on Cape birthday, whatever it is. I just heard so many things about it, like as far as how beautiful it is, and dudes really just moving out there, like just like it's just. But yeah, I mean, we'll talk more offline about that though.
Definitely.
But
Where's your next trip to?
to DR. After that, I just want to branch out from there, honestly.
That's what's
So
up.
like that's why I'm asking because I've been to Canada, I've been to the islands, I've been different states in the country. I just haven't branched out from as far as the places y'all talking about. I haven't been. So I haven't been to Colombia. I don't know if I want to go to Colombia for real.
I mean,
But if
I
I'm
tell
a
everybody should check it out. But like this comment says right here, Just Rush, excuse me. Cartagena got super expensive, bro. I
Yeah.
said on our last trip, we was in the club, and I was telling the fellas, I was like, I'll be honest with y'all. One club night in Cartagena was like 3 club nights for me in Rio de Janeiro. Like no bullshit.
Yep.
Bro,
I
Cartagena
heard
got
Brazil cheap.
expensive, bro. Oh, Brazil's really cheap. But just being in the food. All right, so the food still a little cheap in Cartagena. Certain places a little pricier. I knew something was up when I went to my beach guy in Cartagena, and I go to him all the time, same guy. But when he gave us the bill, he was peeking around an umbrella, and it felt weird. I'm like, did he put something? So now I'm looking at the bill. We get the same thing all the time. So I was like, oh man, this shit. And so the menu was right there. So it ain't like he jacked the price up. The menu prices were different. And I can see him
Yep.
like, oh, I don't want them Greg to get mad. And I was like, Jesus Christ, okay. His prices went up, cool. Then I go to the clubs and the bars, and I'm like, what? Like, everything was just dumb expensive. But someone put me on because they've seen such an influx of tourism.
Man.
Did it lock up?
Yeah.
But you know, dude, I was in Bogota one day and a foreigner
My
told me,
Wi-Fi went up. My
"Don't be
bad.
telling everyone about Bogota." And I'm like, "Why?" And they're like, "Because Medi and Cartagena have gotten so expensive." He's like, "Don't be telling everyone about Bogota."
They jacking the price up because so much tourism now.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, I'm still gonna have a good time. But when I look at the numbers, I could spend way less than Rio, way less than DR compared to 1 or 2 nights.
Yeah.
Like literally, I was telling the guys, I was like, "Hey fellas, you only get one bottle a night." It's like we buy. I mean, I don't buy drinks, so I was more like, "Oh my god!" I saw the prices on the menu. I was like, "Yo, these prices went through the roof." So I mean, to be on vacation and have to spend like I'm in America is wild work. Um, I don't know. Cartagena is still cool. I'm gonna still have fun, but yes, it
More than
definitely
likely,
got expensive.
the next stop is either going to be somewhere with Army guys. We was talking about Africa, or I mean, honestly, whatever y'all next trip is, where I could at least go somewhere that I wouldn't go alone, and just like, all right, at least I could get the lay of the land with people I know. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
But
well we got a bunch of trips coming up. What up, Primo? We got a bunch of trips coming up, and this is a slow travel year for me after a big travel year last year because like I said, I got business stuff going on that I gotta be here for. So, but we'll be back to travel. I'm supposed to be headed to Thailand now, but I got the kids' graduation, so I can't miss my baby's graduation.
I don't know if I want to go out to that Thailand, man.
I mean, it was just get out, but at the end of the day, I almost messed up and forgot my baby graduation. So all the kids are graduating starting last week, so I got to be at all the graduations. Make my presence felt.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like one of those things. If I get, because the thing is, I want to have a good time, and I like my whole thing is I even talked to another brother offline about because I never bring jewelry with me on my trip just in case. This time I'm bringing jewelry, but it's like one of those things where I don't want to be like, and like last time I actually got drunk, and I'm like usually I don't drink that much because I want to be in my P's and Q's. I ain't trying to go to Thailand and get too drunk and homie is in the room and I ain't know it was a homie. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Bro, you know
I'm
what?
sorry.
All right, I'm gonna say this, and we'll end the whole thing on that. But 2 things: if you ask, they'll tell you. So you can, and the people they won't get mad for you asking. Like if it's a regular girl and you ask her, she's not gonna get mad. They're used to it. I know other people that do like a grab check. I think that's wrong. I can't do
A
that to someone, to another human being. But
grab
like
check is wild.
some people do it. Like, but like I just ask and they always are honest. You know what I mean? So if you
Yeah.
got a question, ask somebody.
Yeah, so there's another thing. You got a question to ask somebody. But listen, I
Yeah.
want to give a shout to Dre for joining us. Army God Travels, appreciate you. Vaughn, thank you for pulling up as usual. I need to get you on more of these lives, brother. I got to do more lives like this. I don't be doing a StreamYard. But I don't see any questions in the chat before we get out of here. We got. I consider myself a veteran traveler, but to me, Big Bro Dre and Army God Travels on another level when it comes to traveling. Vaughn is kind of a new traveler, but he's getting his travel merit badges, so it's all good. Uh, so, if anybody got any questions before we get out of here? Other than that, I decided I was doing a thing called free game, right? So I decided to make free game Friday.
Did you like that thumbnail flip? You never answered me.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that behind the scenes.
I'm not bringing it up, but that was
first
funny.
thumbnail. You might get your ass kicked. Anyway, good.
I know. I had to do it.
But free game Fridays, and the first. Now I've done some free game for y'all, but the first topic on this free game Friday is going to be living with your foreign woman. It's gonna be tough. There's gonna be some things said you might not like.
Yep.
It's gonna be some truths told. It's going to hurt some feelings, but it will be on Friday. Guys, I appreciate y'all for joining me. Y'all hit that like button. Listen, this is our version of fuckery. We already to recap. Ty's number 1, DR's number 2. Oh no, Brazil's number 2. DR's number 3, Colombia's number 4 in levels of fuckery. There's fuckery everywhere. This is just our version. I'm sure you might have more fuckery in the country you go to. It is what it is. I've had amazing fuckery in USA, so it is what it is.
Yep.
So you guys stay tuned for more, and do not forget Free Game Fridays. This Friday, 1 p.m. I'm not doing late night lives unless I'm on somebody else's channel. But stay tuned for more, guys. We are getting out of here. I am Mr. Flip Flop. He is Army Guy Travels. He is about to travel. Much love from me to you. See you guys. Peace.
Peace, guys.